Hi guys, my name is Angelica and this is going to be my first ever YouTube video. The reason I decided to start today is because I finally decided to stop being so scared of making my first makeup tutorial. I've just been so fearful of not being as successful as some of these other makeup YouTubers, or just been scared of just starting. Like, what do I do? Like, what if I don't get enough people who watch and blah, blah, blah. But just like, you know what? You just got to start and see where things go. So this is the look I created today. The back to school glam look. This is kind of like something that I do on an everyday basis. I did glam it up a bit, you know, first day, got to make that statement. But so this is the look. If you like it, keep on watching. So I've already washed and moisturized my face. I'm going to go in with Revlon's Photo Ready Pore Reducing Primer. And I use this because I do have a lot of textured skin. I have a lot of pores. So I'm just gonna take 2 pumps. Ooh, that one a little crazy. And spread it between my fingers and just put it everywhere. Okay, so it's blended in, and I really like this stuff. It's really smooth. It fills my pores. It feels super soft. Alright, so we have that all rubbed in now. The next step that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in with some concealer. And what I've been using is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and this is in the color Neutralizer. So I'm just gonna pop that open, wind it up, and pop that under my eyes. And I do have some redness on my chin, so I like to go in with some of that. On my eyes again. Take my ring finger and blend it out. And I start out by patting at first, just to kind of warm up the product, and then I start blending. I just like this method better because, you know, the warmth of your fingertip does make the product a lot easier to blend in. And just take whatever's left over and just run it on the eyelid, elbows. Alright, and then we're just gonna take Real Techniques sponge. It's already been wet, damp, it's damp. And then I'll take this in and just blend out the chin. I feel like that looks good. Blend it out a little bit more. And then what I'm actually going to do next is I'm going to moisten the flat end of the sponge with some rose water from Mario Badescu. And then what I'm going to do is take some of this tinted moisturizer. So this is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Enhancer in the color Tan to Medium. So I'll just take 2 pumps of that. I'll dot it over my face. And then just start blending out in a patting motion. That way we don't disrupt the concealer that we have. This is the little mirror I use. It's just a little compact mirror that I broke off. I think it was from like a L'Oreal powder. I do make weird faces, so bear with me and be entertained. Bring that into the hairline, and then taking notes, rest on the sponge down the neck. That looks good to me. It's a little sticky right now, so I'm just gonna let that dry for a couple seconds, a few seconds. while that's drying, I'm actually going to take another foundation, and this is the Neutrogena Healthy Skin Liquid Makeup in the color Fresh Beige. And this foundation is a tad darker than my face because the rest of my body is darker. You know, we're going to take that much. Dot that all over the face and just start blending out. And I like this one because it gives you coverage, but it's not heavy, and it leaves a dewy finish, and I like that for like an everyday, you know, back to school look. Make sure you're getting around your chin and your jaw. And then take whatever's left on the sponge and just drag it down the neck. And I just do this, you know, because the foundation is darker than my face. That way it matches the rest of my body. Okay, so that looks good to me. So the next step that I'm going to be going into is I'm going to go in with a little bit more concealer on the bottom, very little. And this is just to add a little bit more brightness since we went over the under eye. And I like to do that because I just feel like it looks better for me. But I'm going to go in with the Revolution Conceal and Define in the color C9. And we're just going to take a little, literally just a dot on the inner like area. And that's where I have my darkness. Then again, finger is my best friend for this stuff. Pat that out. And then take whatever's left on the finger and finish running that across the top of your eyelid and up to the brow bone. Alright, so, you know, that kind of just gives a little more awake look. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to set my foundation. It was tacky at first, but it's set down. It's still a little tacky, but it's ready to be set. What I'm using right now is the Almay Smart Shade Powder in light medium. So I just take that on this Real Techniques powder brush, swirl it in there, and I like to just pat it in. And I do that so we don't mess up any of the foundation that we've put on. Alright, so I feel like that's good. I'm gonna put my hair up. I just feel like it's getting in the way a little bit. Don't mind that. Probably look weird right now, but it's gonna work. Alright, so what I like to take next is the Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula in the color Deep Bronzer. Take some of that, and then just go in the hollows of my cheeks, just to give that more definition. See? Compared to the side, it's kind of okay. Alright, now we're gonna do this to the other side. Into the hairline, just so it's more seamless. See? That looks good too. Just blend that out. Taking your time is sometimes a good thing because everything just blends out and looks evenly. There's no harsh lines. Okay, so the next step that I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take my ring finger, go into the pan, and literally go on the side of my nose and literally just draw on that powder. And I do this to contour my nose. I'm assuming it's because of the formula of the bronzer, but it just melts into my skin, making it super easy to blend. Alright, we'll do that to the other side. And then I'll literally take whatever I have left on my fingers, you know, and put it at the base of the nose. And then just go over everything, and then with a clean finger, go on top of the bridge. And then I'll take my powder brush again, and then just go over both sides just to blend out any harsh lines. That just gives the nose a little more snatched look. Alright, since we just blended out the nose, let's go in with the brush into the hollows and just go over that really fast, just to blend that out some more. Again, you can never have too much blending. Alright, so now my favorite part is the blush. This is actually new to me. This is Milani's powder blush in the color Tea Rose. Super pretty color. It's pink, very light dusty pink. So I'll take some of these with the Sephora contour powder brush, but I use it as for blush. I'll dip into here. I like to smile and then just put that on the apples and bring it up. Sorry, I like to see what I'm doing with the blush. Oh, that is really pretty, guys. It may look a little crazy to you guys. I'm gonna go back in with that brush again, the powder brush, and just blend that out. Right, and then we'll do the same thing with the other side. Just gives a little more color back into the life, or I do that a lot. I mix my words up, but it just gives color back into the skin after we've done our foundation and everything. And then just blend everything out. Okay, so the next part that I'm going to be doing is going to be the eyes, which is personally one of my favorite parts of any makeup look, because you can just get so creative with the different looks and different colors that you can do. So we are doing like an everyday back to school, so it's not going to be too intense. I'm going to go in with a crease color. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Semi-Sweet Chocolate Bar palette. That color is Nougat, and I'm just going to take this. It's a little blending brush from Eco Tools. It's a dual-ended. I'll take the blending brush and literally just pop that into my crease. And you're blending literally like in a windshield wiper motion. And then we're gonna do the same thing with the other eye in the crease. So we'll go in again. We'll focus this on the outer part. And then bring it into the V and going in circular motions. If you want, just run the rest all over the lid. So the next color I'm going to be going into from this palette is going to be the color Mousse. And that's that color right there. Alright, so we'll take some of that on that same brush and just take that on the crease again. Go with the other eye. And then I'll dip in again and focus this on the outer V. And I like to do this just to kind of get if there's any fallout. There's not really much with this, which is good. My bad. But see, that just kind of gives a little more definition. So the next color that I'm going to be going into from this palette is the color called Truffle. And that's the color right here. It's a nice brown shade. Now we'll do that on this side. What I'm actually going to do next is I'm going to take this palette from NYX. It was a happy birthday palette that they gave my mom for her birthday. So I'm going to be taking this color right here. It's a very shimmery, pretty color. And I'm going to be taking this little flat brush that I like to use to pack on. It just looks like that. What I'm actually going to do is spray the tip of this brush with rose water from Mario Badescu. I love this stuff. Alright, so what we're gonna do is we're literally just gonna go in this color right here and then just pack that on the brush, both sides. See that? Then what we're gonna do is, I like to start at the inner corner of the eye and work my way up, but don't take it all the way up to the crease. So, inner corner, and then just work the product out onto the rest of the lid, but not all the way. See how much of a difference that makes? Woo! I love it. So I like to let that dry. I fan it with my hands for a little bit. And then I'll just spray this brush one more time. And go in with that same color. And literally do the same exact. Alright, so let's see if I can get a little closer. We'll let that dry. While we're doing that, I'm gonna go back in with the chocolate palette from Too Faced. Sorry, semi-sweet chocolate bar palette. And I'm gonna go in with that color Truffled and Mousse. And I'm just gonna run that on the crease again just to blend everything out since we just applied that shimmery color. And that's what we have. Now, you could go ahead and stop there, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the same colors that we used up here besides the shimmery and put them underneath down here. This is like a packing, I don't know, packing brush. Start with Nougat again. We're gonna take that and run that underneath. Alright, so now we're gonna go in with Mousse. We're gonna try and focus that on the outer 2/3. And I like to connect that with what's up here. I'm going to go in with Truffled now. And I'm just going to run this actually on like the outer third of the eye. And then whatever's on the rest, I run along the rest. So I just want to take this and blend this out right here actually. I'm going to take this brush. I honestly am not sure what this does entirely, but I've always used it to put highlighter on my brow bone when I choose to do that. Palette from Bare Minerals. This is their Ready Eyeshadows. Gorgeous colors. And I'm actually going to take the color Gold Leaf, which is right here. And that's what I'm going to be using for highlighter. And I like this because it's like kind of tipped, rounded, and it fits perfectly right in here. If you guys keep watching and subscribe, you'll see all the different looks that I like to do. And then I just kind of like to bring that down and kind of like meet the transition crease shades. Then I'll go in with that blending brush again and I'll just blend where those two meet just so it's soft and not too harsh. So we're gonna do the same thing with the other eye. And then again, blending brush. just to blend those two together. So that's the finished eye look, eyeshadow wise. But I'm actually feeling like I need a little more oomph on the bottom. So I'm going to go in with these two right here. And I'll be using this brush again and just running that on the very outer parts of my eye on the bottom. Might even take this and just go over the edge right here where those two connect and just soften. Now onto mascara. So this has been my go-to combination. So what I'm using is the Voluminous Millions Lashes by L'Oreal in the darkest color, and then the CoverGirl Clump Crusher also in like their blackest black. So I'll go in with this one first, and this one is perfect for separating, volumizing, and just giving length to the lashes. And as I'm brushing, especially in the inner lashes, I kind of like to lift and push them this way. From the outer, you know, I flare them out as best I can. And then towards the middle, and then the inner lashes, I start bringing them up and then inward. So you can just see that difference. Like, whew, I love it. So while this side is kind of semi-drying, I'm going to go in with the other side and apply another first layer. Go in with the second layer. Now with this second layer, what I like to do actually is I like to go behind my lashes and just put the product on the very tip. And I like to do this because I like having like thick lashes all the way through. Then you can go back in and do another layer since there's still product on the brush. Alright, so that's the second coat. Now, same thing with the other eye. Go behind and just do the tips. So we'll just go in, just separate any lashes that are clumped together. Okay. So I'm okay with that. I can live. I'm gonna go in with this and do my bottom lashes. So we're gonna go in with the second layer on the bottom lashes. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to put some lip balm on to just kind of prep the lips. So this is just the Burt's Bees lip balm in pink grapefruit, literally one of my favorites. Totally recommend. Alright, so I'm actually gonna go into that same color that I used on my brow bone from the Bare Minerals palette called Gold Leaf, and I'm going to take this e.l.f. small tapered brush. And I like it because it does taper, it's small, it's perfect, and I like to put this right here. Oh, kind of bring it into the blush too, just so it kind of just all seamlessly blends in. And if you want, you can bring it up here, temples. It's all up to you, personal preference. And we'll do the same thing on this side. Woo! I love it. Right, so I'm gonna take that same color on my ring finger and I'm going to put this on the bridge of my nose, just with my finger. And then I'll take the brush that we use for powder and just go over that just like this. Just so it's not so like bam and obvious. Alright, so I'm liking how this look is turning out. The next step that I'm going to do is lips. Like I said, I already prepped the lips, and now I'm going to take this gloss by NYX in the color Tiramisu. This is one of my favorites because it's like my lips but better. So nothing special here. I'm literally just taking that and putting it over. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to spray the rose water as a setting spray. Woo! And I have this little wooden fan I got like at a wedding literally years ago. I use this spray in specific because it just leaves your makeup looking glowy, and I love that. Like literally, I love that look. When I was younger, I used to hate looking oily. I would try to mattify everything, but now I just love it. It just looks so natural, and I just love that dewy finish. Feels good to me. Yep. So now I'm going to put my glasses back on and just see how I like everything. Man, look at that highlight. I'm like obsessed with it right now. Oh! But so that's the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, this was my first video. If you guys liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I just want to share the looks that I enjoy doing on myself and that I've learned over the years, and you know, just share it with you guys. Maybe someone out there is wanting to, you know, get into makeup or doesn't know how to use certain colors or whatever, and you know, this is what I came up with. This is kind of like my everyday go-to look. It can be a little glammy for like everyday makeup, but I just think it's perfect. Guys, thank you so much for watching. It was such a fun time making this video. If you guys watched this all the way through, thank you so much. Give this video a like and subscribe. Thank you guys. Bye.